Welcome to Tabletop Battle Adventures, DDay, 1230 hours, Turn 25 introduction video. We're looking at the hedgerows, just outside of Carentan. The 506th PAR, left flank attack, stalled out as Tapuma counterattacked. The 506 platoon leader, First Lieutenant Corey, center screen with 5 grenades. They fell back. A second MMG team with 2 soldiers still intact, first squad LMG team, and first squad assistant leader who is working on stopping the bleeding on the wounded 57mm AT gun crew member. That's it for the left flank. Over in the center, 506 second squad soldier with the BAR, second squad LMG team. They're in a firefight with the 1058 Grenadier survivors who are still in their headquarters building center screen. Back here in the hedgerow, we have the medium mortar. They'll be hitting on a 4 this turn, and they are targeting, get a good view, these 6 Fallschirmjäger soldiers here from first section. Light mortar, looking for a new target this turn. Only 1 soldier remaining for the M5 3-inch AT gun crew. That's just the commander. Everyone else has been killed. Still shoot the gun at a -1. Alright, over here, starting on ambush, 3rd Squad Assistant Leader Sergeant Brandon. And just in front of him is the radio operator for the 506 Battalion. And Colonel Sink was the leader, but he has been killed. So, acting commander here is Platoon Commander Captain Carey and his radio operator. And 2nd Squad Leader Sergeant Braden. And Platoon Commander Captain Carey called in an artillery strike on this bridge. This bridge has 31 damage and it can only take 36 before it's destroyed. So we'll roll for the artillery strike before the first dice of this turn. Prior to that artillery strike, this 6 Fallschirmjäger soldier center screen was on ambush, but he already called in an artillery strike. Turn 22 has failed to come in though. He called it in on the corner of this building where the white paper is. Continue with the 506th, 2nd Squad LMG Gunner here. It's been in a firefight with the 1058 Grenadier LMG Gunner from 3rd Section in the window center screen. 506 soldiers are trying to move across this road so that there are armor reinforcements and infantry reinforcements coming from Omaha Beach, since Omaha Beach was just taken this last turn. They're trying to get across this road so their armor and infantry can reinforce from this road. But they have failed to get across the road. 3rd Squad soldier here, positioned to maybe make a dash for it. And then the 506 flamethrower team who just came out of this building last turn and destroyed the 100th Panzer half-track, led by Sergeant Ronald, who's now dead, burned alive. Terrible way to go. And that's it for the 506. They took 3 new KIA last turn and 48 overall. So they've taken, I think, probably around 60 to 70% casualties. They have the 1 wounded soldier I mentioned, and they've no new saves last turn. And the 506th and the Germans, their main objective is Carentan. It's held by the 6 Fallschirmjäger currently. Both these bridges are also main objectives. This bridge has no damage, and I already mentioned the damage done to this bridge. Will probably be destroyed this turn if the artillery strike comes in. The river lock is also held by 6 Fallschirmjäger along with the bridges. The river lock is open, has been the whole battle, and it is running this way under the destroyed bridge that was destroyed earlier in the fight by the Germans. They destroyed that bridge. And these green fields are flooded because of the river lock being open. Infantry advance, no run, and no vehicles. The brown fields, normal movement. And everywhere else, normal movement. Once the river lock is closed, in D 3 turns, the green fields will no longer be flooded, and everything will be normal movement from that point. This turn, long awaited, I think over a year, I've lost track. The 506th is waiting for their reinforcements. So the Omaha Beach has been captured last turn, and now there's going to be 1 company of armor from the 3rd Armored Division coming to rescue the 506, reinforce, and to help take Carentan. And I will show those reinforcements in just a few more minutes, along with all the survivors from the 2nd Rangers, Company C, 1st and 2nd Platoon, and the survivors from the 116th Infantry, Company A, 1st Platoon. And these reinforcements for the U.S. will be able to come in any battlefield edge controlled by U.S. forces. So currently, they can come in right here at this 3rd Squad soldier's position, so behind that soldier. And the U.S. 506 controls this battlefield edge all the way down. Keep in mind the green fields are flooded. And the 506 control that whole battlefield edge, and then all the way up to where I showed the left flank of the 506 attack that's bogged down, not going any further. So that's where their reinforcements can come in. The Germans' reinforcements can come in from the Puma, and the Germans have 1 company from the Panzer Lehr Division. I will show momentarily. The Germans can bring in, along with the Germans have possession of this road. And then the Germans can bring in their reinforcements any battlefield edge, Carentan, but not here, because this is contested with the U.S. forces on one side of the on one side of the road, German forces on the other. When they knocked the half track out, the 506 stopped the German reinforcements from coming in right here on the road. Here's the U.S. armor reinforcements on their way toward Carentan. Front, company commander, company 1st sergeant, 1st platoon leader, and then we have a 1st platoon tank with a dozer blade attached. 1st platoon tank, these are M4 Shermans, and then a crocodile flamethrower tank. That makes up 1st platoon. 2nd platoon led by the Jackson, and I know these are Parachutes, but running them as Shermans. 2 more Shermans. And then also this T-34 Calliope that's incredible at raining hellfire missiles upon everyone. It's amazing and terrible. So there's the armor reinforcements, along with 4 half-tracks and 1 quad 50 cal half-track. I forget the name. It's amazing. And then for the infantry reinforcements, these are the survivors of the 2nd Rangers. This is the 2nd Rangers 1st Platoon Commander, Platoon Sergeant, Medic, and Sniper. 1st Squad Leader, and it looks like a LMG soldier, a gunner, BAR soldier, and a couple of soldiers, 1st Squad Assistants. Then we have the 2nd Squad Leader and BAR soldier, bazooka team, some riflemen, some with SMG, some soldiers. Then for the 2nd Rangers Company C, Second platoon, the only survivor, the leader was the platoon sergeant that survived. First squad's pretty well intact, the fully painted. Second squad, leader and good amount of rangers survived. Then the heavy weapon, heavy machine gun, medium mortar. For the 116th Infantry, well, actually, let me go over the last turn for the Rangers. 0 casualties for both first and second platoon. And overall, first platoon has 10 KIA that were lost. That's over here. I just lined up. These are all the dead Rangers that died taking the beach. So 10 overall. And then 9 overall for second platoon. So the group center screen is the ones that died, the Rangers that died from second platoon. Over here was first platoon. And the 116th Infantry, these are the casualties the 116th Infantry took from first squad, second squad, third squad, heavy weapons, and the platoon leader was killed. Platoon leader, forward observer, sniper. They lost a medic, but the 116th soldiers that are moving toward reinforcing Carentan, we'll have the leader will now be the platoon sergeant, center screen, platoon guide, forward observers. They have 3 radio operators still in the 116th, where the Rangers are down to 1 radio operator in the whole platoon. The 116th has 3. Then first squad still pretty well intact, with first squad leader still in the fight, and second squad lost all their NCOs, and third squad leader still in the fight with most of third squad. Medium machine gun, 2-man survived, and the heavy machine gun, 2-man survived. I'm probably going to take soldiers from third squad and first squad and add them to these crews here. Yeah, Omaha Beach took a good while to set up, and it was worth it. It was epic. Probably in 4 years I'll set it up again. Got to get through some ACW, some modern bolt action. A peek at the future modern bolt action that we'll be getting into. A lot of helicopters will be hitting the battlefield. And then we've got our insurgent Taliban forces here that will be in the future. And I've got some Viking Saxon battles to get into. So yeah, about 4 years. Anyway, so that's what's coming for the U.S. forces. 116th Infantry, last turn took 0 new KIA, 28 overall in the fight. And the 743rd Tank Battalion, that's now going to be the 3rd Armor Division, but they did take 0. The 743rd last turn took 0 new destroyed tanks. They had 3 destroyed overall, but I went ahead and gave them a whole fresh company to face off against the German reinforcements. And as I mentioned, the U.S. reinforcements can enter the battlefield in Carentan, any battlefield edge controlled by U.S. forces by the 506th. On to the Germans. Here is the company from Panzer Lehr that is arriving this turn, any battlefield edge controlled by the Germans. Company commander in the King Tiger. We have the first and second platoon leaders in their Tigers. Flame Panzer, the Nebelwerfer half-track, forget what it's called, it's amazing. 2 Panthers, 2 Panzer IVs, Wirbelwind, amazing, terrifying weapon, Stug 3, and 2 half-tracks. And they will be able to enter any battlefield edge controlled by the Germans. Woo. And here's the survivors that fled Omaha Beach that will be entering the battlefield with a scatter dice, and wherever the arrow is pointing is where they come in the battlefield. This is the 916th Grenadiers, 1st Platoon, 2nd Section Leader, 1st Platoon Sniper, and their MMG teams, all that survived from Omaha Beach. So they took One new casualty last turn, and 48 overall. That's why there's only the 5 survivors. 916th Grenadiers, 2nd Platoon. The survivors was actually the, what was that? 1st Section Assistant Leader, and 2 more soldiers with him from 1st Section. And then 2 LMG teams from 1st Section, from 2nd Platoon. Pretty amazing. And they'll be, they'll be entering from random direction. Yep, because they're the survivors from Omaha Beach. But a couple of the 916th Grenadiers 2nd Platoon soldiers came into the battlefield already from Omaha Beach. Here's the 2nd Platoon. This is 2nd Platoon 1st Section Leader. And he came in there randomly on a scatter dice arrow point. And over here is the 2nd Platoon Commander, 1st Lieutenant, Radio Operator, Messenger. They came in way over here. And I'll be rolling that scatter dice right here at the turn dice. And wherever that arrow points is where they come in at, any battlefield edge. And that's it for the German reinforcements that's coming. And then let's go with the 100th Panzer. 100th Panzer, they have just the platoon leader, 1st Lieutenant Eulander, and his Puma that pretty much single-handedly stopped the U.S. forces from pushing here on the Germans' right flank, U.S. left flank. 100th Panzer lost Sergeant Gerald's half-track early in the fight, and as I mentioned earlier, Sergeant Ronald's half-track last turn was knocked out. Plan for the Puma is just hold position. German reinforcements, the armor can come in right behind the Puma, and plan is to basically run right over this hedgerow, kill these forces, and that way the Germans take possession of this dry field here and the road, which means the Germans can then bring in reinforcements from this whole table battlefield edge here. They could shut off the river lock then, and then these fields would dry up, and the Germans would be able to fight, come right across these fields. I think the U.S. forces need to get armor on the battlefield as fast as possible while they still have possession here, and then smash through that hedgerow and see what happens in an epic armor fight. U.S. forces can also bring in their armor on this road, the dry brown field, and they do currently have possession of the whole garden area, which is dry fields, and all the way up to just even with this house here. Let's go on to the 1058 Grenadiers. They've been in the fight for the Germans the longest in this battle. They've lost 29 KIA overall in the fight and 0 last turn, and they have 1 wounded soldier still. Here was the 1st Section leader, bleeding out in 2 turns. The medic's just making it up to him, though, for the 6 Fallschirmjägers medic. And the rest of the 1058 Grenadiers soldiers are going to be in their headquarters. On the balcony, 3rd Section Assistant Leader. This is all 1058 Grenadiers. There's their sniper and 3rd Section LMG Gunner. Another 3rd Section LMG Gunner at the window. And then we have the Platoon Commander, 1st Lieutenant, and his radio operator. The brown D6s represent grenades held by German soldiers, and the green D6s represent grenades held by the U.S. forces. When soldiers are killed or wounded, their grenades stay by the bodies, can be picked up and used. That's it for the 1058 Grenadiers. They took nasty losses this battle, and they've been engaged all over this hedgerows and farm complex side of the battlefield. Their killed soldiers' bodies litter the hedgerows and the fields alike. And as I mentioned, the 1058 Grenadiers, no new casualties last turn, 29 overall. Very heavy losses, 90 or 80%, I think. And then lastly, going to 6 Fallschirmjäger. Let's start with the 4 observer team here on the boxes. As mentioned, the medic going over to help the 1058 Grenadiers wounded soldier. flamethrower team. Starting on ambush, we have the 3rd section soldiers with rifles. They're holding down through here. They're covering these 506 soldiers. If they try to move across the gap, then they can open fire on them. Starting on ambush here, the 2nd section leader, 2nd section LMG team, 2nd section's other LMG team, 2nd section 2 more soldiers with assault rifles moving forward, counterattacking the 506 flamethrower team and trying to keep the 506 from taking possession of this road. 1st section, this is all 6 Fallschirmjäger from this point forward. 1st section leader, 3rd from the front, and the 2 soldiers from 1st section to have the medium mortar dropping rounds on them with pin markers too. And they're holding down this spot, trying to not lose possession of this road. 3rd section leader, and inside of this building is 3rd section's LMG team in the attic behind the window. I already mentioned the forward observer here starting on ambush. And the 6 Fallschirmjäger's headquarters is in this church complex. Got the medium mortar needing a new target this turn. In this building, 2nd floor behind the window, MMG team. And in the tower is 6 Fallschirmjäger commander, Major Vonderheit, 2nd floor, center screen. And in the tower is his radio operator. I already mentioned the reinforcements coming from Omaha Beach, 916th Grenadiers 2nd Platoon. Forward with the 6 Fallschirmjäger. They hold all of Carentan and the bridges and the river lock, which are all the main objectives. They've held them for the entirety of the battle. I've been so patient now playing this battle for, I think it's been over a year. I gotta check. And so many times I wanted to bring the armor in, and I waited till turn 25 as I planned when I was building this game. Still continuing with 6 Fallschirmjäger's position. 3rd section assistant leader, staying away from the bridge because of the 506 continuing to call in artillery strikes on the bridge. And this bridge is going to be destroyed this turn, I expect, which will be, it's good for the 506 because now, as long as the Germans cannot take possession of this road, then, so right now the Germans can't bring anybody in on this road, neither can the 506, but the 506 can, rather the U.S. reinforcements can come in right behind this soldier. The tank can come right in through here, smash that wall, and the Germans cannot do that on this side. The Germans have to come in over here, come across, because this bridge is about to be destroyed. So there's only one bridge for the Germans to bring the reinforcements in, but the Germans can bring in their armor reinforcements from the road all the way to the Puma, which is still, then the U.S. can't, they won't be able to stop that. So the Germans' reinforcements will be coming in through here. But if they're going to come in Carentan, really, they can only, that bridge is the only. So this is critical that this is contested and not in German or 506 hands. But it's more critical, or it's better for the 506, more important for the 506 to maintain control than the 6 Fallschirmjäger because of not wanting Germans coming in on this spot here. Continuing with the 6 Fallschirmjäger. Over here, I already mentioned these soldiers. Yes, and then way up here, the 6 Fallschirmjäger's platoon leader, the 1st lieutenant, holding down against the 506 soldiers. You can see all the bodies littering the battlefield. Epic. Yeah, lots of losses everywhere. So the 6 Fallschirmjäger last turn took 3 new KIA, 15 overall. They're relatively strong. And they had a save last turn too. Right over here, the 6 Fallschirmjäger soldier made a save, stopped the bleeding on the wounded. Overall in the fight, Germans lost 4 more KIA last turn and 131 in the fight. And they have 1 wounded soldier currently. 7 saves overall in the battle. The 506, or rather the U.S. forces as a whole, have 98 KIA in the fight and 3 last turn. 1 current wounded soldier and 14 saves over the battle. Twice as many saves as the Germans. I'm so excited to get the armor on the battlefield. Waited for so long. Well, I probably missed a lot, but I don't edit these at all. Just press record and go for it. Don't have time to edit. It is what it is. Excited. Germans have 5 units starting on ambush in the building. 1058 Grenadiers platoon commander 1st Lieutenant Kreutner that I showed. He's starting on ambush. So is the 1058 Grenadiers sniper in the center window, 2nd floor. And I already showed the other soldiers starting on ambush. The U.S. forces only have 1 soldier starting an ambush, which was 506 3rd Squad Assistant Leader Sergeant Brandon. So we'll first address the artillery strikes, and then we will get to ambush roll-offs, where the U.S. forces only have 1 unit on ambush, Sergeant Brandon, Germans 5. So we'll roll off, get those ambushes taken care of, and then to the first dice of this turn. And overall, there'll be 42 order dice in the bag for the Germans and 69 order dice in the bag for the U.S. forces. Starting in the battle, turn 1, there was 100 U.S. order dice and 77 German order dice. So the Germans have taken 35 dice lost, and the U.S. forces have taken 31 dice lost. But still, currently, there are 29 order dice have been lost by U.S. forces, because there's 71 total order dice for U.S. and 48 total order dice for Germans. Epic. Well, about 3 nights from now, I'll get to the artillery strikes, ambushes, and on to the first dice of 1230 hours, turn 25. Thanks for watching.